Cardi B and Stefon Diggs finally reveal why they decided not to marry. It was supposed to be the fairy tale ending that broke the internet, the union of rap royalty and an NFL superstar. For months, fans watched as Cardi B and Stefon Diggs flaunted a chemistry that felt electric, undeniable, and raw. From public appearances dripping with luxury to late-night Instagram lives full of laughter, it looked like the world's favorite unlikely couple was headed down the aisle. But after months of speculation and endless rumors, the two finally broke their silence, revealing the heartbreaking truth behind why they decided not to marry. The beginning of a modern love story. It all began in the most unexpected way. Stefon Diggs had been spotted at one of Cardi's private parties in Miami last year, a lavish, invite-only event filled with celebrities and industry giants. But while everyone else was busy showing off, Diggs stayed quiet, calm, collected, something Cardi later said, caught her off guard. They exchanged numbers, and what started as playful banter turned into something real. Behind the cameras, they spent nights talking about family, trust, and what it meant to love someone when the world is constantly watching. Diggs wasn't like the men Cardi was used to. He was private, measured, and disciplined, everything that contrasted her bold, outspoken personality. Fans noticed the subtle shift in Cardi's tone on social media, her posts softened, her words more reflective. And when they were finally spotted together in Los Angeles, hand in hand after a late-night studio session, the world exploded. The engagement rumors that took over the internet. The internet went wild when Cardi was seen wearing a massive diamond ring on her left hand. It wasn't just any ring, it was rumored to cost over $5 million, with a design that allegedly represented two paths joining as one. Fans assumed the wedding was near, and whispers of a secret ceremony in the Bahamas started circulating. Sources close to the pair claimed Stefon had already spoken to Cardi's family, expressing how much he wanted to protect and build with her. Even Offset, despite their complicated history, was said to have congratulated her privately, acknowledging that everyone deserves happiness. For a moment, it truly felt like Cardi had found her forever. The cracks beneath the surface. But as months passed, subtle cracks began to show. Both stars had demanding schedules, Cardi with her music, endorsements, and her kids, Stefon with his NFL commitments and travel. According to insiders, the distance began to wear them down. Cardi wanted consistency, one source revealed. She's a lover. She gives her all, but she needs to feel that same energy back every day. And Stefon, he's not someone who expresses love with words, he shows it through his discipline, his loyalty. But that difference started to hurt them both. Tensions reportedly reached a boiling point when Cardi missed one of Stefon's key games, citing last-minute studio sessions. Fans noticed she wasn't in the VIP suite as usual, and the gossip blogs pounced. That absence, it seems, became a symbol of something bigger, a growing emotional distance neither of them could ignore. The emotional confession. When they finally addressed the rumors, the tone wasn't angry or dramatic, it was emotional. During a private sit-down interview later leaked online, Cardi opened up tearfully. "I love Stefon. That's never been the issue. But sometimes love ain't enough if we're not aligned. We got two different worlds, and trying to make them one has been beautiful but also painful." Stefon, sitting beside her, nodded quietly before adding, "Cardi's my best friend, my heart. But I've always been the kind of man who moves with purpose. And right now, we both chasing our dreams. I never wanted to marry her at a time when we both too busy to build something real, something peaceful." Their honesty stunned fans. For once, this wasn't about scandal or betrayal, it was about two people brave enough to walk away before things turned toxic. Inside sources reveal the final decision. According to those close to the pair, the final decision came during a trip to Turks and Caicos. Away from the flashing lights and industry noise, they had a deep, emotional conversation about what they truly wanted. Cardi cried for hours, one insider shared. They both did. They realized that while the love is real, the timing isn't. They didn't want to hurt each other trying to force something just because the world wanted it. Stefon reportedly told her, "I don't want to lose you to pressure. I want to keep loving you the right way, even if that means not as husband and wife." Cardi later posted a cryptic story that simply read, "Sometimes the strongest love is the one that lets go gracefully." The fans react. Fans were heartbroken but also deeply moved. Social media flooded with comments like, "This is the most mature breakup I've ever seen. They didn't fail, they grew. Respect to both for choosing peace over performance." Even celebrities weighed in, with Rihanna, who shares a close friendship with Cardi, commenting under a fan page, "Sometimes it's not about walking away. It's about walking forward separately but with love." What comes next? While marriage is off the table for now, sources confirm that Cardi and Stefon are still in each other's lives, just in a different capacity. They reportedly still text and occasionally check in on each other's families. Stefon has thrown himself back into football, while Cardi is focusing on her upcoming project and her children. In a recent post, she shared a quote that read, "One day, you'll look back and thank the universe for the love that taught you what you deserve." Whether they reunite in the future or remain lifelong friends, one thing is clear, their story isn't defined by failure, but by growth. They didn't give up on love, they simply chose themselves in a world that often demands people to perform for it. A love that redefined expectations. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs may not have tied the knot, but they've done something equally powerful. They showed the world that not all endings are tragic. Some are simply honest. Their decision to walk away, not out of anger but mutual respect, is a reminder that love isn't always about forever. Sometimes it's about the courage to recognize when it's time to let go, while still holding each other in your heart. And for fans who still believe in their magic, Cardi left them with one last hint during a recent Instagram Live. "Who knows what the future holds? We still got love for each other, and that ain't going nowhere." Cardi B and Stefon Diggs finally reveal why they decided not to marry. In a twist that has left fans completely speechless, Cardi B and Stefon Diggs have finally broken their silence about one of the most talked about questions in celebrity culture: why they decided not to marry after all the rumors, love declarations, and emotional moments that had the internet buzzing for months. The love that stunned the world. When Cardi B and Buffalo Bills star wide receiver Stefon Diggs first appeared together, the world couldn't believe it. The chemistry was instant, a fiery blend of Cardi's Bronx boldness and Stefon's quiet confidence. They were spotted courtside, backstage at shows, and even during intimate family events where their bond looked deeper than anything the public had seen from either of them before. Fans believed this was the real thing. Cardi, after her highly publicized split from Offset, seemed genuinely happy, glowing, laughing, and embracing a new sense of peace. Stefon, known for being private and reserved, began showing a softer side. Their love seemed unstoppable, until whispers of hesitation began to surface. Behind the scenes, the tension builds. According to people close to the couple, cracks started showing when the pressure of fame collided with their personal differences. Cardi B's world is loud, full of cameras, social media drama, and non-stop headlines. Stefon Diggs, on the other hand, lives for structure, focus, and mental calm, the balance an NFL career demands. They loved each other deeply, but they lived in two completely different worlds, a source explained. Cardi wanted a partner who could match her energy, while Stefon needed peace and stability after long seasons. They just couldn't find the middle ground. Rumors swirled about disagreements over where to settle down, family priorities, and Cardi's fast-paced lifestyle. Stefon, deeply family-oriented, wanted something quieter, possibly a life outside the spotlight once football slowed down. The proposal that almost happened. It's been revealed that Stefon did plan to propose, not once, but twice. The first time, sources say, he had a private dinner arranged during the off-season in Miami, complete with candles, music, and Cardi's favorite flowers. But just hours before, an argument over scheduling and privacy reportedly derailed the moment. He wanted to give her something timeless, said a close friend. But she wanted something grand, something that would break the internet. They realized right then that their visions of love were beautiful but not the same. By the time the second proposal opportunity came around, both had started to sense the growing distance. Cardi's emotional confession. In a heartfelt conversation during an Instagram Live, Cardi B finally opened up about why marriage never happened. Fighting back tears, she said, "Sometimes love ain't enough. You can love somebody so much, but if your lives don't move in the same direction, it just don't work. Stefon is an amazing man, I'll always say that, but I learned that peace and understanding matter more than a ring." She admitted that while she once dreamed of a big wedding, her priorities had shifted. Cardi emphasized she didn't want to rush into another marriage just because fans wanted it. Her words instantly went viral, with fans praising her for maturity and honesty. Stefon Diggs breaks his silence. A few days later, Stefon Diggs addressed the situation during a quiet sit-down interview. He didn't throw shade or blame anyone, instead, his tone was soft, reflective, and deeply emotional. "Cardi brought light into my life at a time I really needed it. But I've learned that timing is everything. I wasn't ready to be the kind of husband she deserved. I wanted to love her without making promises I couldn't keep." He went on to say that the decision not to marry wasn't about lack of love, but about respect. He didn't want to tie her down when their careers and lives were heading in different directions. Fans react in shock and sadness. Social media erupted the moment their confessions hit the internet. Twitter was flooded with posts like, "I really thought Cardi B and Stefon were endgame loudly crying face," and, "They looked so happy, I can't believe this." Some fans blamed fame for tearing another couple apart, while others admired their maturity for choosing emotional clarity over forced commitment. Memes, edits, and fan montages celebrating their love story began circulating again, proof that their chemistry left an undeniable mark. The unfinished love story. Despite parting ways, insiders say the two still keep in touch. Cardi reportedly sent Stefon a message after his recent game performance, congratulating him and reminding him how proud she was of his discipline. Stefon, in turn, continues to speak highly of her in private circles, calling her one of the realest people I've ever met. There's no animosity, just mutual respect and bittersweet affection. "We didn't fail," Cardi said during her live stream. "We just grew in different directions." Where they stand now. Cardi B has been focusing on her music and her kids, channeling her emotions into new creative projects that fans say feel more personal than ever. Meanwhile, Stefon Diggs has been dedicating his energy to the NFL season, often posting cryptic quotes about growth, patience, and destiny. Their paths may have separated, but their influence on each other remains clear. Friends describe both of them as changed for the better. The real reason they didn't marry. When all the noise is stripped away, the fame, the speculation, the gossip, the truth is simple: they chose peace over pressure. They loved passionately, but they also understood that love without alignment can become painful. Both realized that forcing a marriage for the public's approval would eventually destroy what they valued most: genuine respect for one another. As Cardi herself said, "Love don't always need a wedding. Sometimes, letting go gracefully is the most powerful kind of love there is." Conclusion. The story of Cardi B and Stefon Diggs isn't a tragedy, it's a lesson. Two powerful individuals, both in their prime, dared to love openly and walk away maturely. Their decision not to marry doesn't mean their connection was fake, it means it was real enough to deserve honesty. Fans may still dream of what could have been, but perhaps the beauty of their story lies in its imperfection, a love that burned bright, but ended with grace instead of chaos. And that's why Cardi B and Stefon Diggs decided not to marry, not because they didn't love each other, but because they loved each other enough to let go.
쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주